everybody. If you're watching live, welcome to the live stream. If you're watching on replay, thanks for checking it out. Hope you enjoy it. We made some really good progress yesterday. We got the underpainting completely blocked in, and then we did the first layer of colors. So now we just kind of need to bring it home. That's what the goal is now, is just bring it home. I feel like we're super close. We're just not quite there yet. But I've been having a lot of fun with this piece. It's been pretty cool. Enjoyed painting a dinosaur. I've never painted a dinosaur before. That I can remember. I don't think I've ever painted a dinosaur before. Painted a shark once. Painted a megalodon. Every time anyone asks me if I have any dinosaur paintings, I usually show them the megalodon piece. But now I'll have a T-Rex to show them. And hopefully, my goal is to show this piece to Zoic TCG. They're a dinosaur trading card game. Seems like they're wanting to get a lot of artwork for their game, and seems really cool. I would love to paint cards for them. So if this goes well, I might have the opportunity to paint a lot more dinosaurs, which would be awesome. Just gonna try and get the shapes a bit more precise. I feel like there's some just big shapes that I need to mess with and try and figure out what they need to do. I think this needs to just come all the way up here. I mean, I was looking at a bunch of references, and it seems like a lot of T-Rexes have this like kind of shape here and here. So I just need to like focus in on the shapes and see, you know, if this really is a crime against Skyrunner people. What's the winner defense? In my defense, it's 9:44 on a Monday. So to me, this seems like a pretty decent time to be up and painting stuff. Focus in on these teeth a little bit. I'm just using like a dark blue right now. You're gonna sleep well. Well, we're in the same time zone, so I don't think you have that much excuse to be complaining. I'm sorry you didn't sleep well, though. I haven't slept great for the last couple of nights either. That's closer to what I need. I need these teeth to have a bit more like underbite to them. Let me gripe, dang it. Go ahead, get it out. Get the griping out if you must. I'm so excited. I just got a Bring Me the Horizon ticket. It's gonna be so good. It's Bring Me the Horizon and then Motionless in White again, because why not? And then another one I don't know. It's for like May next year, so I have to wait. How many hours a day do you paint? Well, I've been doing like 2 or 3 for the last couple of days. So not a whole lot. Not a ton of hours. I'd like to paint for like 6 hours a day. That would be like the ideal, but I usually don't have the time or energy for that much. Today I'll probably get close to that. I've got a lot of paintings I need to be working on. I have several commissions, and then I have my class. I sure did. Yeah, I'm so excited. I just got those tickets like an hour ago. Yeah, Bring Me the Horizon's gonna be like at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, which is like our big stadium. Just trying to focus on like the big shapes this morning. Traitor, I know. Let's see if there's one in Texas. See if they're making their way over to your area. Big shapes. Big shapes with focus. Because I think that's where my details were really struggling yesterday. Was I had like a bunch of little details, but I didn't have enough like big details happening. Like big, sorry, my chair is on top of my tripod. It's driving me crazy. There we go. Now I can actually move my chair. Okay. So this needs to come up a bit more and down. I'm looking at other pictures of T-Rexes right now and seeing what other artists have done with them. Oh, I want to see more like this. Like the Magic the Gathering T-Rexes look so good. MTG T-Rex art. Sounds kind of cool. Very similar to the pose that I'm making. Different lighting, but it's pretty close. Probably get some valuable info from that. Their lighting's hitting from the opposite side. I just hate that like all of the dinosaur pictures on like the internet are all AI generated at this point. Pisses me off. I don't want to see AI generated dinosaurs. I want to see actual illustrations. That's the only AI I want to see actually illustrated. So I saw someone make that joke on TikTok once. They're like, check out my AI art, as in it's actually illustrated. And I'm like, you're gonna scare a lot of people with a hook like that. I thought about using the audio because a lot of people are using the audio, but I'm like, ooh, I don't know. Don't know about using an audio like that. I just need a bit more movement, you know? Make it look like he's running. It's actually a pretty good color for the inside of the teeth. I was trying at those. Olathe has... What's Olathe have? I know they have some galleries. I don't really do a whole lot of Olathe stuff. I usually stick to like the North Kansas City / like downtown stuff, like Crossroads. I went to the Olathe, or it wasn't Olathe. It was like Redbridge area. Redbridge Shopping Center is where I was set up at this weekend. They had like a South Kansas City block party, is what it was called, and It was okay. It was like the first couple hours were rough, like really, really rough. Um, I did not do well the first couple hours. I was very bored. I think I sold one print in the first like 3 hours at that show this weekend, and then the show was from 10 to 3. I think by around 1:30 I finally started selling some prints. Let's see, what other brushes could I use for this? Maybe a little filbert. This one's just getting a little bit too frayed. Could either use like a little filbert, could use this other, this is kind of like a filbert flat brush type thing. Just like these, some little angled flat brushes. Yeah, any small local show is gonna be just okay. Like the real money, like if you want to make money on art, the real money is gonna be at conventions. Like big conventions. So depending on what you paint, you'll do better or worse at certain ones. So like I'm doing Planet Anime next month. That's the November 23rd to 25th, I want to say. Do I have a calendar on here? Let's Google it. Planet Anime Kansas City is November 21st through 23rd. So, yeah, Kansas City stuff, like the best shows are going to be those big conventions. So we've got Planet Comic-Con is obviously like the best one. That's the one that I like super prioritize every time. Planet Comic-Con, Planet Anime. We have the World Oddities Expo and the Oddities and Curiosities Expo. I've been to World Oddities Expo. That's like the smaller one of the two. Oddities and Curiosities is massive, but it's like really hard to get a booth at. I've never even seen the window to get a booth. Like it's always been sold out by the time I even look into it. So I've not had a chance to get a booth there before. But I've heard that one's really good. People travel like all the way across the country to go to Oddities and Curiosities Expo. And we also have Collecticon KC, and that one's pretty good. Don't know about the orange in there. Maybe. Just feel like this leg needs something. I feel like I didn't get the anatomy right. Some more dinosaur paintings. This one's kind of close. It's AI. All these have to be AI generated. Like that's a cool composition, and I look at it, and he's got 4 fingers on his left hand and 3 on his right. I just want real pictures that look good. How hard is it to find real illustrations that aren't AI? Running. Different legs though. like to find a reference of it running. This one's kind of close. Just looking at all kinds of different references, just trying to see if I can see what other artists have done that I can kind of implement into my piece. Seems like I chose a weird angle that not a lot of people paint. It seems like most of them have the right foot on the ground with the left foot is stepping. It's kind of close, but it's not a T-Rex. I guess it's supposed to be a T-Rex. It's just a strange illustration. Doing that thing where I click on a picture and it's pulling up a different picture. How hard is there interest in the Plaza event? The Plaza event is near impossible to get a booth at. I would love to go to the Plaza event, but it's good luck getting a booth there. Unless you're like a famous fine art artist. It's real. Ooh, here it's just close. It's not what I clicked on. Go to the one that I clicked on. Come on. I'll just look at it from the thumbnail, I guess. Yeah, Plaza is very, very hard to get into. It's super expensive. I'm pretty sure it's like a couple $1,000, maybe like $1,000 or $2,000 for a booth there, but it's juried. There's nothing wrong with juried, but they only accept artists who are like well known enough to have fans come out and see them or something. I don't know. Yeah. I've never had any luck getting into the Plaza. I haven't applied that many times, but it's very like bougie and it not necessarily my audience, I guess. Like I would love to go, but I don't think I would do too well there. I've been to a couple of fine art shows that like it's juried like that, and it's all like much older people. Like not saying like older people don't like fantasy art, but these guys specifically, they didn't like my stuff. They really didn't like my stuff. I heard them talking. Like I heard it was judged. It was called Art on the Side. It was in Liberty. It was a judged event where they actually were picking like some artists to win some prizes, like prize money for like best in show and best display, best art, best booth, whatever. And there was three judges, and it was two older ladies and a dude in his like late 30s, early 40s. And the dude really liked my stuff, and he was like, "No, this guy over here, this guy has good art. Like this guy knows what he's doing. He's obviously got like the best display. He's obviously put a ton of effort into his art and his business, and I think he should get it." And like they were talking close enough that I could hear them, which that's on them. It was their own fault for talking too loud, I guess. But I could hear the young dude that really liked my stuff, and the two older ladies just kept being like, "No, he needs to go back to Comic-Con. This isn't fine art. He needs to sell posters at Comic-Con." And they just did not like me. They were like, "No, this guy doesn't belong here." And I was like, "Whatever. Screw you guys." And then the next year, I went again the next year, and the two older ladies were not judges anymore, but the younger guy still was, and he got me the win that time. And I won like best in show, I think. It's like the overall best booth or whatever. And he came and talked to me. He's like, "Yeah, I gotcha." Yeah, they were definitely gatekeeping. He was like, "No, you're obviously the best one here, and you're obviously gonna get the win, because there's no reason you wouldn't get the win at this one." I was like, "Thanks, man." And nowadays we're friends, and we chit chat every time we get a chance to. So he's a cool dude. He's a fellow artist as well. He does like surreal oil paintings. He's super cool. We've talked a couple of times about doing like a art group get together with other Kansas City artists and just hang out, chit chat, talk about art, paint together. Hasn't happened yet, but I'd like to. He's a cool guy. I guess he was on like the Liberty Fine Art Council or something. Yeah, those old ladies, they really didn't like me. That situation kind of turned me off to fine art events. So like, yeah, I'll still apply to the plaza if I see the application in time or whatever, but definitely not like getting my hopes up for it or anything. Yeah, those guys that if you do get into the plaza, like, you should definitely try, because those guys make money. Like plaza artists, they make big paychecks. Because they bring original paintings. Like, when I go to a Comic-Con, I'm usually not bringing original paintings, besides like just a couple. I brought a bunch to Salt Lake FanX because Salt Lake FanX is like my best show, and I only sold one of them, and it was to a collector who's already bought a bunch of my work, and so like I'm super grateful that he bought it. But that just kind of showed me that, yeah, it's still not quite where I need to be selling originals at art shows. That looks a little better. Trying to figure out these teeth, the shape of the jaw a little better. I tried the oiling out method where I like cover the whole thing in gout, and I don't know if I'm supposed to wait a lot longer or do it right away or something, but it's not really working. Everything's tacky now. Like I think I'm still able to work it, but everything feels very tacky. It's supposed to like make everything a bit more like flow better, I guess, but it doesn't really seem to be doing that for me. I also don't know what I'm doing, so. I've just seen that method done a couple of times, and it looks really cool. Just trying to be more intentional with my shapes. If there's one thing that Dan Dos Santos is really drilling into me for my class, he's like, you must be intentional about everything. Like everything needs to be there for a reason. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Can't just put down brush strokes for the sake of it being brush strokes. It needs to have reason for being there. Like these shapes need to have purpose. Looks kind of cool. The way my palette's sitting, it's like it's catching a ton of light from the ceiling, I guess. Let's put that like that. I can actually see my colors a bit better. Some direct shadow in there. little bit of that red in there. The claw's looking a little better. Morning, how's it going? Glad you made it. We are still plugging away at the dyno. I'm determined to make this look good. Just feeling like it definitely wasn't quite there yesterday. I think we're getting closer. We're getting our details a lot better, just kind of locked in and focused. I feel like especially the face was, we were struggling with the face in that it just had too many random brush strokes on it and not enough focused attention to like what the shapes were. And so I'm trying to kind of get in here and bring a bit more attention and focus to what I'm trying to portray. Versus just having a bunch of random crap up here. Yes, very, very cool. How are you doing today? You working today? Trying to get these teeth kind of focused into. Figure out what we're doing with those. First meeting not till 9. There you go. I would love some coffee. Ran out of coffee creamer and I haven't got myself anymore. And I don't like drinking coffee without coffee creamer. So I've just put myself in quite the predicament, I guess. I want to drink coffee, but I didn't put the effort in to get the stuff that I need for it. Still feel like this might not be the right brush. Oh, just like French vanilla creamer, just something sweet to put in it. Sometimes if I don't have any French vanilla creamer on hand, I'll just use milk, but this is not, it's not the same. It feels too like watery. Should buy a cow. Yeah, that's, yeah, honestly, best idea I've heard all day. Try this little filbert brush, see what this does. This might be too loose as well. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I wonder where those brushes are. I have this like little set of tiny brushes somewhere. All of my brushes right now are like too frayed out. I need something with a sharp point like that. Let's try this. I'm gonna try several brushes until I find one that is doing what I need to do. This one actually looks pretty good. Oh yeah, that feels nice. Yeah, let's work with this for a minute. See what happens. Just a nice long round brush. Can load it up real good. It'll last a minute. Let's warm that color up a bit. And kind of bring it to a sharp point. Yeah, that feels good. Still a little bit loose. I would feel like I would almost like it to be a bit tighter. But at least I have controlled brush strokes. This might be good for the highlights as well. Just need something to get the teeth to actually look a little bit more sharp and not just kind of sponged on there. This painting's definitely pushing me, that's for sure. That's what we want, I guess. What I was really hoping for with this painting was something that I felt comfortable with. I was like, I know how to paint big, scary creatures. And here we are, still struggling. 18 faces on 24 by 36. Oh, that sounds awful. What's that project for? Is that a personal project that you're doing? Or you just wanted to paint 18 faces on a giant canvas? That sounds like torture. Okay, so a bit more emphasis on the teeth now is good. Now I think I need to go back into like a really dark color and try and clamp them back in. So like Payne's gray, blue, red, brown. Just mixing up all my dark colors, trying to get a dark without going straight black. We don't want to have a pure black paint. There we go. Just kind of clamp them in and give them the right shapes. Goal will be to get a bit of recognition as well. Plan is to market and give it 2/3 of profit to charity. And the Brothers Inspire. Oh, that's cool. Nice. Hope that goes well for you. How long you been working on the project? Get some dark on here. It's pretty cool. Oh yeah, I remember one of the other things I wanted to try. I feel like the eye isn't quite doing what I want it to do. So I think one of the things I need to do is have him looking more down at the little dinos, which means I need to bring this down here. More white on top. There we go. Looks a bit more crazy. Looks like he's looking down at him. My face is done. There's different skin tone. My belly patches on it. Yeah, that's a tough project. It's definitely a challenge. I did a 20 by 40, or no, 24 by 36. No, it was a 24 by 48 painting. Yeah, 24 by 48 and it had, I think, 13 different Marvel superhero characters on it. Or no, it wasn't just Marvel. It was superheroes and video game characters and I think other stuff too. It was a commission from this mom who wanted to get it for her son, and it was just, she was like, yeah, I just want like all of my son's favorite characters in one painting together. I was like, okay, I'll do whatever for money. I think she paid me $300 for it. That painting took so long. I ended up needing to have Shannon finish it, I think, because I got so overwhelmed with it. It was just way too many characters all in one painting. I remember I painted like Donkey Kong was in there, Black Panther, this Omega skin from Fortnite. It was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It was very silly. Shannon ended up just taking it over because I got so stressed with it, and I was like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to paint portraits that well. And now I need to paint like 13 portraits, all in the same painting, small scale. It was crazy. It was awful. There we go. Got some nice lighting on the teeth now. Getting there. Getting closer. This brush is failing me. Okay, just need to load it more. Alright, that's looking a little better. Get those teeth standing off of the silhouette a little bit. Load the brush. Don't be stupid. Don't make things harder for myself than they need to be. Getting it. Getting there. We're gonna cover that up with pink too. Just it's looking a little too bright there, but I'm just trying to get the shapes in the right places. Look at you and everything. That's pretty cool. New shadow on your left or right. Over here. That shadow on the iPad. You're talking about this over here. It was the iPad? Okay. Yep. It's like I have darkened up stuff over here, but didn't do too much shadow stuff yet. Just trying to focus in on this guy for now. Can't decide if I want to darken up the background at all yet, because that would kind of focus it in on him more. Thought about using like a big mop brush and kind of going over some of this and clamping it in a bit. I think I might try that. Nice big brush. Decent amount of Payne's gray. Some blue. Just a little touch of red. And thin it down like crazy. And clamp in that contrast a bit. Bring a bit more focus to the dinosaur. Look, Frank. Look. That puppy. Kind of want to do like a blue wash over the mountains a little bit. See what that looks like. Try and get a bit more distance, atmosphere in there. Hey, Art Nerd, how's it going? Good to see you again. We are still plugging away at our dyno. Doing a lot of transparent glazes. Would the other person know who is sharing the emojis? Not sure what you're talking about. Nice music, thanks. How much do you paint the week? I paint whenever I get the chance to, which isn't as often as I would like to, just because running an art business is a lot more admin work than it is actual painting, unfortunately. So I spend a lot of time just working on like stuff that isn't art that hopefully sells the art. So a lot of social media marketing. I haven't really put any effort into my social media the last couple of weeks, pretty much since Salt Lake, but yeah, usually a lot of my day consists of like posting on social media and planning shows. A lot of my time goes to making sure that my inventory is in stock and I have everything ready for shows. I have enough prints, I have enough like foam boards and like plastic sleeves, and I spend a lot of time shipping out Etsy orders. But I try to paint several times a week when I can. It's not always possible. So like this week, I'll probably have quite a bit of time to paint because I don't have any shows until the second weekend of March, or not March. I wish second weekend of November. So yeah, I have quite a bit of time this week and next week to paint. So I'll probably spend 5 to 6 hours a week painting, or 5 to 6 hours a day painting this week. In general, I don't really use watercolors. My wife uses watercolors. I have not been able to get the hang of them. I've tried them many times, but it's not. I like using solid colors versus a lot like all transparency. I like transparency for stuff like this where I'm just kind of glazing over stuff, but in general, I like to have solid color. And how do you estimate how many prints to bring? Generally, I try and make sure that I have at least 10 of like the popular stuff. And then after that, it just depends on the show. Like if there's gonna be a celebrity there that I have a painting of their character or whatever, then I'll bring like 15 or 20 copies of that print. Sometimes there's shows that, like, if I have a piece that I just really think is going to do really well, then I'll bring like 15 or 20 copies of it. But it also depends on like the individual artist. It depends on how many pieces you have. So like if you're looking to go to shows, then if you only have, you know, 10 to 20 paintings, then you'll probably want to bring more than 10 copies of each print, if that's all you have. Whereas I have like hundreds of paintings, and so I actually have to narrow down which paintings I'm going to focus on and bring. So I actually have to like curate my own collection a bit and make sure that I'm not bringing too many paintings. Scrub some of this off. Show some of that light underneath. It's looking a bit better. And then I want to go back in and change that blue to a bit more of like a pink. How am I doing the background music? It's just the Alexa is playing through. Oh, keep going. It's playing through like an Amazon thing. Ooh, Gen Con spots just opened. If anybody wants a spot at Gen Con, go apply. That was my second record show. Just got the email from the showrunner, which I already re-upped for my 10 by 10 spot, but I'm gonna apply for a 10 by 8 or for a corner booth or art show booth. that to look like a volcano. It needs less of that pink and more of like a gray. More ashy looking. First cup of coffee. About time. Need to order myself some creamer. Been really craving some coffee lately. I want to keep that blurry back there. Oh, I had to walk to the coffee stand. That sucks. At least you got some now. Give these guys a little bit of highlight. those guys nice and blurry.
Are you streaming?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. How's it go?
It's pretty cool. Have any critiques? Guess not.
More contrast mode.
Where would you put? Or like highlight and shadow? I think she might be making fun of me. Because I always tell her more contrast. More contrast. Watching Silent, that looks awesome. Thank you, Lee. Glad you're here. Appreciate you hanging out. At this point, we're really just trying to figure out how to like bring this guy home and finish it up, you know? Since you can't hear, you said you smell. Yeah. Look like he's been chasing them. A little bit of a trail behind him. Trying to get some scale with putting like some really big grass in the foreground and then having little grass around his feet. You should have put some like little mini flying pterodactyls up in the background. That could look cool. Pterodactyl. Pterodactyl. Something like that. That's not what I'm clicking on. This iPad is super annoying. Yeah, the smoke from the volcano evolved is incredible. Thanks. Yeah, I tried to stick as close to my sketch as I could, with having that like nice kind of pink highlight back there. It definitely looks more distant now. Some pterodactyls back there. I'll come back to those guys in a little bit once they're dry. I used a lot of paint thinner, so should be dry pretty quick. Okay, let's focus on this. You want me to take them on a walk? Well, you want to later?
Yeah, probably.
What time?
Well, today, probably after people get off work, so
Shoot for like 5. I just want to be able to mentally prepare for that. Sounds delicious. Yeah, could be. For all we know. Is that distracting is the question. You don't have a dry dinosaur meat, do you? Oh. That'd be interesting. Mm-mm. Wish I did. You okay? What are you doing?
Hard by nature. No, here. Here.
Just leave it. I'll get it later.
Can you read your live stream, please?
Alright, guys, I gotta end the stream. Shannon, help. We'll hopefully be back soon.